Hello, everyone. We're going to be doing a mock draft, NFL Fantasy on ESPN. We're going to see how this goes. It's going to be real time, real people. Don't know how many. It is pretty late. It's 11:48 p.m. But we're going to see. We're going to see people draft. Hope that was really loud. Okay. Because to wake y'all up, because middle of the night, we're doing a mock draft. This is going to be expert 12-team PPR. Let's join this league real quick. We're in. Team 12. Yeah, we'll go 12 team. This will be interesting. So slot 12. And we're in. So once we get in, we're not in the draft room yet, but we are in the waiting room. So 15 seconds. A black polo shirt because I just got off work. Well, a couple hours ago I did, and decided, you know what? Haven't uploaded on YouTube for a while. Gonna do it now. Enter the draft. Please just enter the dang draft. Click it 3 times. Jeez. Loading up my draft. All right. Last pick in the first round, first pick in the second round. So we'll see what happens on the swing back around. And we will be sharing our screen. Here we are. So right now, if it goes player by player, we're looking at Stephon Diggs, which I'm totally fine with. Now, McCaffrey and Cook probably go 1 and 2. I think Kamara's going to go 3. Henry's probably going to go 4. Saquon's probably going to go 5. Zeke, no, I think Jonathan Taylor's going to go 6. Kelsey might go 7. Then Zeke might go 8. We'll see how many people shade Devontae Adams just based on how many people do not like him. Put my face cam there. There we go. 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 Let me take this off real quick. Whoops. There we go. Draft starting in less than half a minute. And I think the first 8 picks will probably go as planned. So could be looking at Devontae Adams, though. If it had to be between Devontae Adams and Stephon Diggs, I would still take Stephon Diggs just because you have no clue. But if Aaron Rodgers comes back, I think Devontae Adams could literally just be a top 5 pick in fantasy, really. All right, there goes McCaffrey, first pick. If you had to ask me which running back I would pick, like which guy I would pick first, it wouldn't be McCaffrey, but I understand why people would. But it'd be Dalvin Cook for me because a healthy Dalvin Cook we saw last year, and he's starting to get healthier and healthier while Christian McCaffrey is starting to get, he's kind of on the opposite trajectory. So, and Dalvin Cook, we remember the game he scored like 5 touchdowns or something. And I know Kamara also scored like so many touchdowns too, but man, I think Dalvin Cook is the best running back in the league right now. So you really have to watch out for that. I think Saquon Barkley is ranked a little too high. We really have to see him play a season where he's not injured for him to be ranked. Yeah, because guys take Derrick Henry over him in a full PPR league. That's insane to me. And plus, you know, the weapons around Barkley, you don't know who's going to spread the wealth. Someone takes Barkley before Kamara. Interesting. If Saquon Barkley is healthy, then he is worth a top 5 pick. But yeah, I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know if I believe that. There goes Kamara. But I honestly don't know if I believe it. I think Saquon Barkley could definitely be top 10, but I don't know about top 5. I don't know if he can get to that at his rookie season, even after coming off the injury. Even if he's healthy all season, I don't know if he can get to that level. There goes Jonathan Taylor. I knew Jonathan Taylor was going to go before Zeke. You do have a question whether Zeke is a, and there goes Eckler. That's honestly expected pick though, because it's PPR. He's pass catching back, and he could also run the ball. I mean, performed well. And there goes Travis Kelce. Man, Zeke Elliott is dropping. If Zeke Elliott makes it to my pick, I think I have to pick him. But the thing with Zeke dropping is, here goes Nick Chubb. The thing with Zeke dropping is that the offensive line was just not good for the Cowboys. It was not healthy. But here's the other thing. It was Dak not being there. Dak is going to be back, and the boxes are going to get a little bit lighter now that he's in there. And Zeke's going to have a little bit more running lanes. And, you know, that line's going to get healthier. You know, they have Lyle Collins come back, Tyron Smith, you know, the tackles there. And then, you know, they've got Connor Williams and Zach Martin. So that's still a very good offensive line. And Zeke just got picked. That is a great pick. Yes, you do worry about Zeke not being able to, you know, you worry that he's going to repeat what he did last season. You know, he was kind of a failure, you know, but I'm going to take, really wish I could take a running back here, but I can't. I guess I could take Aaron Jones, but that's tough. It's really tough. Yeah, I'm going to have to take a receiver here. I'm going to take Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs was a monster last season. I think, did he lead the league in receiving yards? I can't remember. I think he was like second at least. Who do I want as my RB1? I don't think I could. Dang it, man. They left me with like the worst running backs ever. I'm just gonna go Diggs and Hopkins. I'm gonna go 0 RB first 2 rounds. This is a PPR league, you know. Who knows? If I can get like a Chris Carson. Yeah, I don't like Tyreek Hill because I like consistency. Yes, Tyreek Hill, he explodes for those big weeks. But yes, he was second in total scoring last year. That's cool. That's cool and all. But I need to see some consistency. Yeah, I shaded Devontae Adams. We'll see if the DeAndre Hopkins pick over Devontae Adams hurts me. Honestly, we won't even know because it's a mock draft, but yeah, that's kind of how I feel about Tyreek Hill. I want consistency. I want to know what I'm getting every week. So with Stephon Diggs, yes, Josh Allen. Yes, I know Tyreek Hill has Patrick Mahomes, but I also stated this. Stephon Diggs with Josh Allen was consistent week in and week out. You knew what you were getting with Stephon Diggs. You don't know what you're getting with Tyreek Hill. He could drop like a 3-point game, and then the next week he'll drop like a 30, 40-point game. Dude, if I could get a guy like Jacobs, if I could come around and get like Jacobs and Chris Carson, well, I don't know. Joe Mixon dropped all the way there. Jeez. I don't know. Yeah, Dobbins or Jacob. I don't think Dobbins or Jacobs is going to make it. But I think if I can come back around and get like David Montgomery and Chris Carson, I'd be cool with that. I'd be plenty cool with that. Got Diggs, Hopkins, and then Carson and Montgomery. Two workhorse backs that are pretty much kind of the same player, really. Like they're decent pass catchers of the ball, but they are old school running backs. Old school. This is the reason why I don't like picking at 12. Antonio Gibson at jeez, man. Who are we skipping out on right now? I don't know. Oh, there goes Chris Carson. There goes Dobbins. Dobbins before Jacobs. That's going to be something worth noting. I think Jacobs. I don't think Jacobs's ADP should be this low. I mean, even with Kenyon Drake returning, I just don't get why he's so low. Dude, this is gonna be tough because there's so many good wide receivers that I'm tempted to take. Gotta play this out right. Jacobs is still there. Montgomery's still there. I doubt Jacobs is gonna make it to me. There goes Allen Robinson, Justin Jefferson, Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen is going to be a heck of a get in the third round. Just to get a guy like him. Because when Justin Herbert was throwing him the football, he put up legit top tier wide receiver 1 numbers, dude. He was insane. He's look out for Keenan Allen, man. Look out for Keenan Allen. I mean, I have to draft Montgomery here. There's no way I go no more running backs. I mean, Montgomery's my RB1. See, I was kind of high on Myles Gaskin, but now I'm not sure how I feel about him. Because he gets good receiving yards, and he got a lot of touches down the stretch. But I don't think I could pass on Julio. So we got Diggs, Hopkins, and Julio. I want to see if Kareem Hunt can fall to me. End of the 5th round, kind of pushing it, but with teams starting to take. Oh yeah, it can definitely happen. I'll be definitely looking for Kareem Hunt. Like how many receptions did he have last year? 38. Pretty good. Yeah, I'm liking Kareem Hunt this year. You know what he was able to do. He was able to put up 1,100 scrimmage yards while splitting carries with. And it's not really splitting. It was like, I mean, what percent of the carries was Nick Chubb getting? He was getting a lot. I'm kind of scared that David Montgomery is my running back 1. But man, what else are you supposed to do? You're kind of screwed when when you're picking like 12th, when you're picking at the end of every other round and picking at the end of the 1st round, there's going to be no running backs available to you. It's tough. And it's really tough that Eckler was picked when he was, because he might have been the pick there for me. So, Eckler not being there sucks. But I think I'm going to take Kareem Hunt. And I hate to bet on an injury or anything to happen to Nick Chubb, and I'm not really going to, because heck, I might draft him in my actual league. But let's look at his stats here. So he rushed for 1,000 yards, and he caught for. So he and Kareem Hunt were. I mean, they were basically had the same statistics. Now Kareem Hunt had to step in because Nick Chubb was out for a few games. So, But my wide receivers, man, Diggs, Hopkins, and Jones. I'm happy about that. A lot of targets. That's really all you can get from PPR. Is just all you want to get is just targets. Because again, a full point per reception. So get an extra half point over the standard half PPR. Yeah, so Kareem Hunt, he caught 38 passes. So yeah, 198 carries with Nick Chubb out for a few of those games. So you never know. But I just can't believe Chase Edmonds is over Kareem Hunt. That's insane to me, especially with James Conner being in Arizona. And it's not even that James Conner is a really good running back. It's just that Arizona is going to play him. It's weird, man. But I'm going to take Kareem Hunt. And I'm going to wait till I'm going to take Lamar here. Lamar in the 6th round. Ridiculous, dude. Ridiculous. That's insane. So we got Lamar, David Montgomery, Kareem Hunt, Diggs, Hopkins, and Jones. Yeah, I just don't understand why a guy like Lamar Jackson in the 6th round gets taken. Like, his rushing ability at the quarterback position just gives him so much potential. So much. And I needed those rushing yards too, because these running backs aren't going to get it done. This is probably the worst running back room in the whole league, but that's just how the cookie crumbles. We were dealt the 12th pick in the draft, and we just had to go with it. You get 3 really strong receivers, but you don't get much of anything at running back. Now, if Nick Chubb if something happens to him, this could be a completely different story. Like Kareem Hunt could have RB1 potential, but it'd have to happen early in the season. So, yeah, Kareem. Let's see. Yeah, because down the line, 13 carries, 10 carries, 16. I mean, his rushing yards hovered around 70 or so for a while. He hit 100 one time. And then he just went completely down. But I only expect the offensive line to get better with another year of Jedrick Wills and another year of Conklin. Insane how the narrative has changed in Cleveland over that offensive line. They just needed to fix their tackles, and they did in one offseason with Conklin and Wills. This stream's probably seen me suck down this Pepsi for a long time. Don't like Logan Thomas. I love Dallas Goedert. Love to take Dallas Goedert here. And then my whole would be set. I'm really worried about my running back, so it's not good. I just don't want to be picking 12th. You got to get those good running backs because there are just so many good receivers down there that it doesn't really matter if you have these 3 really, really good receivers and Diggs, Hopkins, and Jones. It just doesn't matter. Like, you got guys like Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, who I just saw. I mean, you got T. Higgins in the 7th, which I think is just insane. I think at like a 6th or 5th round pick. Yeah. Goes Logan Thomas. There goes Devontae Smith. Hoping Dallas Goedert does not come off the board before I pick. And of course, he gets picked. That's a crusher. I don't know. Maybe Raheem Mostert could be a guy. I mean, I just really don't trust. The Trey Sermon thing. You know what? Here I got picked, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, the whole Trey Sermon thing with Raheem Mostert is what's scary. But even then, I mean, they're 2 completely different backs, and I believe, they in San Francisco they spread the wealth there at the running back position, so not too worried. Same thing with Melvin Gordon here in his competition with Javonte Williams. And I think I'm going to take Melvin Gordon. Just because he does have the talent, getting a guy like him in the the 7th round? No, it's the 8th round, first pick of the 8th round. Yeah, I just need names at running back really. So, I like Gallup in the 8th. It's not a terrible pick. Don't like Tyler Boyd. Actually do like Marquise Brown a little bit. We get a little bit of that stacky stack. Yeah, I'm going to go Marquise Brown. Marquise Brown and Lamar Jackson stack. I like that stacky stack. Yeah, I mean, Marquise Brown in the 8th doesn't really hurt. It really doesn't. I mean, sure, he has not played up to the first round expectations. You know, he didn't have very good finishes, of course, like what it says. He was used a lot, and they did add Rashad Bateman, Sammy Watkins, and Tylen Wallace, but he has the talent. We'll just see what happens with the Ravens because, yeah, I mean, he's had 100-yard games. I mean, here he's got a 100-yard game there, 80-yard game there, another 80-yard game, almost a 100-yard game here. Like, he's had his games. I just wonder, how many targets did he have? He had 100 targets. I think he'll have a slightly better season. This is kind of going faster now because of I do actually like Marvin Jones this year because he has a chance to be wide receiver 1 in Jacksonville. I don't think DJ Chark is very good. I mean, yeah, he put up a good. He put up a pretty good. I mean, he was 18th in fantasy points. And I just don't believe in DJ Chark. Yes, he put up good stats like 2 years ago. He hasn't been available. And he was on a terrible team. But look at Marvin Jones, dude. Look at the numbers he put up. Sure. Four gosh, I can't talk. 4 catches, 55 yards. 4 catches, 23 yards. 3 catches, 51 yards. Then we start seeing an uptick in targets. 5 for 80, 8 for 96, 8 for 116 down the stretch here, 10 for 112, 8 for 180 and 2 touchdowns in his last game. He had just an awesome stretch at the end of the year. I don't know why Ronald Jones is being picked in the 9th round. That's strange to me. I do not like that whatsoever. I don't. What I do like is Mike Williams. Now, what's surprising is that he only had 700 yards last year. But with Herbert, I mean, he was okay. I mean, he was a top pick in like the 2017 draft? Yeah, but I've been drafting Mike Williams. I'm going to take him here. Okay. And I've also been drafting Nyheim Hines a lot. But I don't know if I want to do that right now. Maybe I do. Nyheim Hines, he had a lot of receptions last year, 63. Now, of course, Philip Rivers isn't there anymore, and he's a famous thrower to running back type guy. But even if they go down a little bit, I mean, that's 63. That's 63. That's 63 receptions right there. So you can't ignore that. Now, if you really want to, Alex Smith left Washington football team, but we know Smooches got 80 receptions. If you want to go watch Fantasy Footballers podcast. Yeah, so he was kind of the goal line back in Washington, but he drops all the way down because Alex Smith isn't there anymore. But look at that. 165 total touches, almost half of them being receptions. That's just nuts. And I do think like McKissick's going to have like another year like that, but not nearly as much as like that. He'll still be involved in passing situations, as it says. Like, yes, it's not going to be 80 receptions because Alex Smith isn't there anymore, but it's still going to be a lot because, I mean, you're not going to see that much of a downtick in receptions to where, you're not going to care about. That's why I'm kind of like wondering why J.D. McKissick is so low. And because, I mean, he's still kind of valuable because of PPR. So, I mean, even if it lowered down to a bit, like, 69, 65 receptions, 60 maybe, that's 60 points right there on its own. And he also averaged, almost 4.5 yards per carry on 85 carries. Like, that's pretty good. I mean, 85 carries, it's still like a small sample size, but 85, that's like 85 times he's touched the ball. So it's still a lot, but I get why you think it's small compared to other running backs is all what I'm trying to say. Tariq Cohen's interesting. We'll have to see what happens with Justin Fields, but we got to see what happens with, health-wise. He was kind of out there for a while and that sort of thing. I wonder what's going to happen with James White. I mean, Damian Harris kind of had most of the carries towards the end of the year. Sony Michel didn't really do much of anything, but I don't know. James White was kind of a bum. But he had 49 receptions. I'm debating on taking Michael Pittman here, though. I'm going to take Michael Pittman. No, I'm going to take Darnell Mooney. I haven't taken Darnell Mooney in a while. And then I'm going to take Gus Edwards. So we got two Ravens. Got the triple stacky stack with Lamar and Marquise Brown, and Gus Edwards, who I just picked. Couldn't remember his name or anything, So now we need to get a tight end. Tyler Higbee could be a guy because, I mean, he's still kind of starting guy there. I mean, there's also Gerald Everett's still there, of course. Austin Hooper could be a guy. I mean, yeah, outside of the top 3 tight ends, which I believe is Kelsey, Kittle, Waller, you could maybe throw Hawkinson in the discussion, Mark Andrews. I'd put Kyle Pitts. I would put Hawkinson over Mark Andrews, of course. But to be honest, I completely forgot about the tight end position afterwards. So, oh man, it's been a night. Who knows? Is Hunter Henry going to get picked here? Yes, he is. Could look at the upside guy and like Cole Kmet. Kmet was first tight end selected for a bigger role. I don't know. Has Jimmy Graham been picked yet? I might actually take Jimmy Graham instead of Kmet. I believe he's still. Yeah, he's still on the board. How is Jimmy Graham still on the board? Come on. He had 8 touchdowns. He doesn't need to be drafted. Oh man. But he had 8 touchdowns. Like, look at how many 2 touchdowns. Oh, I guess he only had 2. But 8 touchdowns, man. And people thought he was washed. Whatever. I know I'm being a homer, but like whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna take Cole Kmet. I think, you know what? He's a tight end too, but we're taking him. I don't know why is Tyler Higbee so low though? Because Gerald Everett's there. Where's Gerald Everett? I forget. Oh, he's with the Seahawks. Okay. That makes sense. Hey, that's a good pickup for the Seahawks. Oh, shoot. Chuba Hubbard. Oh my gosh, it took an extra player instead of a defense. You know what? Screw defenses and kickers. We're taking some more players, man. We're going to cheat the system. We're taking some more players. We don't even care, man. Like, take your freaking kickers and defenses, dude. Like, get the frick out of here. Where? Really? You gonna do this to me? Wide receiver. No players? You're telling me there's no available wide receivers. You can't be serious. They're just like, no, you cannot take any more positions. Screw off. They're seriously going to make me take a kicker. Oh, no, I had one more bench position. Oh, they're going to make me take. Okay, so that's about it then. We're not going to draft a kicker and a defense on camera. Like, are you kidding me? We're not doing this right now. We're not. How the frick? So annoying, dude. You know what? Okay. That was it pretty much. I'll read you off my team. Quarterback, Lamar. Running back, Montgomery, Hunt. I don't think this was a good draft at all, really. It just sucks going at the 12th spot. We've got Diggs, Hopkins, Kmet. Diggs, Hopkins at wide receiver. Julio Jones at flex. Cole Kmet at tight end. Melvin Gordon, Marquise Brown, Mike Williams, Naheem Hines, Darnell Mooney, Chuba Hubbard, and Gus Edwards, all off the bench. I do wonder, like, what kind of value Chuba Hubbard's going to have. I mean, yes, he's got McCaffrey with him and everything, but like, if McCaffrey goes down again, and you could say that he has more talent than Mike Davis, that's interesting. So yeah, maybe Chuba Hubbard. You could say Chuba Hubbard's could be kind of a handcuff, I guess. Uh, you could draft Chuba Hubbard. If you're scared that McCaffrey can hurt himself again, you could just draft Chuba Hubbard at the end of the draft. Interesting one. Naheem Hines. Um, he's just gonna get most of the passing situation downs, and as at running back in for the Colts still. Um, it's funny someone picked Carson Wentz. Mike Williams, I think is an interesting player because he's a kind of the clear cut wide receiver too, in LA, and excuse me. Although I did see this Jalen Guyton guy, although he had 2 touchdowns. He had 500 yards. Was this his rookie season? Was this Guyton's rookie season? I don't remember. But yeah, Guyton had a year with the Chargers. Darnell Mooney, he's a breakout guy. Um, I think he'll be better with Justin Fields. He'll probably have more targets as well with him getting better. And, Matt Nagy saying, he's their Tyreek Hill, blah, blah, blah. Gus Edwards, he's probably going to be splitting carries with J.K. Dobbins. He did rush for 700 yards, and he was very efficient with his rushing with 5 yards a carry as well. He only had 9 receptions, but he had those 9 receptions for 129 yards. And he did rush for a lot of yards down the stretch. He had a 100-yard game one game. He had an 85-yard game, 73 yards, 87 yards. And then there's some games where he has like 9 carries for 10 yards. Ugh. But he was very efficient with his carries. Gus Edwards was. I do like him as a late round option. Although I do think J.K. Dobbins is going to sort of kind of take over that role. And of course, David Montgomery, the Bears offense, he's going to be the workhorse. I get that they brought in Damian Williams, that Tariq Cohen is coming back, but you can't deny the workload he had. He had 247 carries for 1,000 yards. He had 54 receptions for 438 yards. I mean, and 2 touchdowns. Like, this guy is an absolute workhorse, and he's going to get most of the workload. He had over 1,500 scrimmage yards. Yes, they did bring in Damian Williams, and he'll probably be there for like the outside zone stuff as well as Khalil Herbert. But I think he's going to be just fine. I would like to see see him be a little bit more efficient on his carries, and just hit the holes in the O-line, because I see these games and I do think he bounces around a little bit too much. I know he can just hit the hole and just go. And Kareem Hunt, he was the RB11 when Nick Chubb was out, which is kind of disappointing actually. RB11, he's an RB1 when Nick Chubb was out, but that's when Nick Chubb is out. You expect, because a couple years ago, Kareem Hunt was taken very high when he was on the Chiefs in a lot of fantasy drafts, like around pick 7, 8. That's like he's at least the RB5 or 6. When he's taken with 7th pick or so. So, but for him to be the RB11 with that kind of offensive line, kind of disappointing. But yet again, it's a good insurance policy. If anything, he'd be a great flex option, and he's only 26 years old. I think Kareem Hunt would probably, if how many years does he have left with Cleveland? Wait, didn't he just sign an extension with the Browns or something? I don't keep up with contracts. I just know. Let's check Kareem Hunt. They're keeping him under contract through the 2022 season. He decided to sign a 2-year extension. I think he just likes being home. But after 2022, I think he's going. I think he might be going somewhere else. I remember drafting Kareem Hunt the year of him like kicking that woman and him being released, and I was so mad because I picked him with like the 7th pick. I picked him with my first round pick. So upset with him. Why did he do that to me? Okay. What else? Okay, Melvin Gordon. So he's still got the talent, right? He's a talented running back. And I took him in like the 8th round, maybe. He finished the RB14. That's a high tier RB2. Pretty good, right? So why would he last the 8th round? Well, Javonte Williams. The Broncos drafted Javonte Williams very, very high. And, Melvin Gordon's contract is up after this season. So, the Broncos are probably already kicking him out. Like, they're just like, okay, you got to stay on this roster for another year, but you're out of here because we're not paying you another contract. They're going to bring Javonte Williams in, and he's going to be the RB1. So that's kind of the issue. He's gonna, just be there. That's really what he's gonna do for now. But he's Melvin Gordon, man. So that's why I picked him. Marquise Brown, he's just disappointing because, he did have 8 touchdowns, which saved him, but man, 35th in the league in targets, 42nd in receptions, 40th in yards. He's just first round pick like him. He's a first wide receiver taken over DK Metcalf, over Terry McLaurin. Those guys, you just hate to see a guy like him just fall flat on his face. Talked about Mike Williams already. Nyheim Hines, yeah. So Julio Jones is still going to get a bunch of targets. He's not the same Julio he used to be, but Julio, he's just going to get a bunch of targets and he might be the best wide receiver coming in right away. I'm still not convinced it's like he's clearly the better than AJ Brown right now, because I think AJ Brown could take even another step forward. But he's still going to get the targets because of how much the Titans gave up for him. He's going to be a pinnacle in that offense. And, what he had in Atlanta, he didn't have a run game. So, and they're going to have a real run game in Atlanta. So for him to go there and go against these heavy boxes, there's the coverage is going to be, he's going to be open. he's going to be open a lot. So I think Julio Jones in the fourth round is heavily slept on. I think can have a monster year with the Titans. And, Ryan Tannehill, probably better quarterback than Matt Ryan right now. I'm not going to discredit Matt Ryan because overall, career wise, Matt Ryan is way better than Ryan Tannehill. Way better. So, but yeah, Ryan Tannehill right now is better than Matt Ryan, in my opinion. I just love Ryan Tannehill's deep ball and the accuracy he has on it. And I think he's going to help out Julio a lot. I think A.J. Brown's going to help him out a lot too. Because, Calvin Ridley is probably better than A.J. Brown, but the run game, again, so I don't know. It's a great spot for Julio, and I think he only goes up from here. I think it's going to be for people to have him fall the fourth round. I think it's going to be a big mistake for people who don't draft him. So, I talked about Hopkins. He's going to get over 100 receptions and, get 1,400 yards. He's going to be a wide receiver one. And so is Stephon Diggs. They're just going to get a bunch of receptions, a bunch of receiving yards. Stephon Diggs, pass-heavy offense too. So with Josh Allen, doesn't get better than that. Well, and who says he can't do it again? So Lamar doesn't throw many picks, and he's still going to score a lot of touchdowns. He's going to run for a bunch of yards. It's Lamar, so he just has the upside. He has a bunch of upside. He's going to run for over 1,000 yards again, probably. I think he could run for double-digit touchdowns, and I think he could throw for over 30. So that's just what you're getting from Lamar because of his rushing ability. There's no doubt about that. And people even said he had a down year. Dude was the MVP a year ago. He's going to bounce back. I think the Ravens are going to have I think the Ravens are underrated coming into this year. I think the Steelers will kind of go to the bottom. I think Browns will be kind of at the top of the division, but the Ravens are going to give them a run for their money. I think the Bengals are going to be on the uprising. I think they'll finish somewhere 7-10 or 6-11 or whatever. But yeah, the Ravens are going to be battling there. So I do have questions about their secondary, specifically the safety position, but also the D line as well. But they're looking pretty good. So that's going to be probably about it. I didn't talk about Jonathan Taylor real quick. I know I didn't draft him, but I do like him as a player. I think he's one of the more talented running backs in the league, but in PPR, I have a hard time taking him over Austin Eckler, Kamara, Nick Chubb, Cam Akers. I have a hard time taking him over a bunch of those guys. So I think we should dial it back a little bit on Jonathan Taylor. His rookie year, Marlon Mack's coming back. Naheem Hines as well. They're not. I don't think he's gonna be the lead back anymore. I don't think you should expect the same year from Jonathan Taylor as you did last year. So, yeah, that's kind of my thing with him. I don't think you expect him to catch a lot of passes either. As we could see, look up his stats right now. Let's see. He can receive a little bit. He had 36 receptions for 300 yards. And he did run, but he did run for 250 yards one game that really boosted his stats against the Jags. So that's no surprise. And he does have games like 9 carries for 22 yards, 11 carries for 22 yards, 7 carries for 12, 6 carries for 27, those types of games. But he did have a very strong stretch down the season, down towards the end there. So yeah, I just wouldn't count on him being your RB1 just yet. I would kind of cool off a bit, like your high tier RB1, if you know what I mean. So what do I think of Travis Kelce too, being picked in the first round? I like it. I like it a lot because people just shouldn't look at, oh, he's a tight end. Excuse me. Shouldn't draft him in the first round because he's a tight end. This dude was a tight end, but put up wide receiver ones, like elite wide receiver one stats. Over 100 receptions, 1,400 yards. Like he was top 5 in receiving yards as a tight end. Travis Kelce, 11 touchdowns. Like that is wide receiver one numbers at the tight end position. Like the head when you go head to head, and this is so good for PPR too, full PPR. With I'm facing Logan Thomas. Oh, that's fine. Travis Kelce will win that head to head easy. Like there's no question. You're winning tight end pretty much every single week, except if you're maybe facing Darren Waller. That's probably about it. So, yeah, I mean, Travis Kelce, one of the safest bets, really. I think the safest bet in the first round. So, take him. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is still there. I mean, nothing's changed really with the offense except for the offensive line. And you could say, oh, with the offensive line, they could run the ball a little bit more. Maybe. But when they drafted first round running back, they didn't really run the ball that much, did they? So still pass heavy offense. They got Patrick Mahomes. They don't forget what they've got in Patrick Mahomes. So yeah, Travis Kelce there, like it, love it. If it really got to that point where I was like pick 8, and it was between Zeke Elliott or Fonte Adams and Travis Kelce, I would take Travis Kelce like all day. Like it's kind of a no-brainer in my perspective. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Zeke Elliott, of course, I already talked about him. Offensive line getting healthier. Dak coming back. Boxes are going to get lighter, and he's going to be able to get more running lanes. So Nick Chubb, of course, we talked about him. Cam Akers. I don't know if you really I actually like Cam Akers. He's still unproven, but I do like his upside. Like his upside a lot. To get him at the in the second round, that's kind of huge. If you have to take him in the first, like I think someone did. Yeah, round 1, pick 11. Not too sure, but if he's like, if you go like running back, and he's your like second running back, be like, heck yeah, because if you end up with If you're like at pick 12 like me and Cam Akers lasts that long, you get like an Austin Eckler and then you get like Cam Akers, I'd be like, props to you, bro. But of course, Cam Akers nor Austin Eckler lasted to 12, which kind of screwed me over and had me take Dave Montgomery as my RB1. That's why we do mock drafts. But Cam Akers, I mean, with Matthew Stafford there, they could be doing less play action in running and more passing, more pass heavy, because, Stafford's just a better passer than Goff. I mean, I don't think there's a question about that. But Akers down the stretch, I mean, the way he runs, he was so efficient with his runs, wasn't he? Like Cam Akers, I think he rushed for like 5 yards a carry, right? Oh no, only 4.3. But he down the stretch, got a lot of. He was barely used. Then, started using him in the passing game a little bit. They started running the ball with him. They only gave him like 11 catches, but I think he'll be used more. I don't think there's anybody else that could really challenge him besides Darrell Henderson. What's Darrell Henderson gonna do? They've tried to play him and he hasn't done anything really. They drafted him in the second round a year ago. There's no way that they don't use Cam Akers. His upside's pretty dang good. And he actually looked really good when I saw his tape. He looked really, really good. So I would definitely look out for Cam Akers. Probably I would take him in the second round. And also my favorite receiver pick. Favorite one. And I don't know why this guy is in the first round. I would expect him to rise here all the way into the first round. I don't know why he's not the first wide receiver taken. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that because I do like Stephon Diggs better than him. And I do like DeAndre Hopkins better than him. Even though DeAndre Hopkins does have a little bit more competition now, I would still, not competition, but more receivers, to spread the wealth and everything. I would, Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones is gone. He's going to be the first option there. I don't care about Kyle Pitts. I mean, I do care about Kyle Pitts, but I don't think Kyle Pitts is going to take the number one option away from him as a rookie. Calvin Ridley, number one option. He already had so many targets with Julio Jones. Imagine how many targets Calvin Ridley is going to get this upcoming year. I mean, it's nuts. It's nuts. He had 143 targets. 143. He only got 90 receptions out of that. But 143 targets. And he's going to get more. He's going to be good, man. I don't see Russell Gage doing anything. The only person I see doing anything is Kyle Pitts. But, I mean, that was already the case when Julio Jones was there. Now he's not there. Where are those targets all going to go? Some is going to go to Kyle Pitts. But a lot of it is also going to go to Calvin Ridley. I'm so stoked. I think when we start drafting again, like a year later from now, Calvin Ridley is going to be like the Michael Thomas type, where you're going to be drafting him in Calvin Ridley could be in talks of being the best wide receiver in the league. That's personally, that's how I feel about it. Now we'll see if that remains to be seen. But I think it could happen. He could put himself in that conversation with DeAndre Hopkins, with Devontae Adams, with Julio, with not Michael Thomas. I got to really think about these. Some others. There's some others, but yeah. Calvin Ridley, beast. Now, I'm going to let everyone go. Just over an hour. Bunch of dedication to this. I love doing this. Going to be doing a lot of renovations to my room, so I think the setup's going to kind of change a little bit. I'm going to be able to play more games. Like to get a new console, that sort of thing, so we can start playing some games. I need to find a way to get OBS. This freaking Chromebook, dude. Hate it. Whew. Man, what a night. What a night. Yeah. NBA draft lottery is officially today. All right. I was looking through my phone a bit. Gonna give my voice a break. I'll check you guys next time. Deuces.